What's the cheesiest pickup line you've used that actually worked? Not me, but a friend. He was at a grocery store at around 10 p.m, waiting at the checkout. The girl in front of him has all breakfast items in her basket: eggs, bacon, bread, OJ. He has all supperitism, steak, potatoes, etc. So he says, "I've got dinner, you've got breakfast, maybe we should get together." She giggles, checks out and leaves. He gets outside and she's waiting for him. Seems like they are a failure to lunch. I was sitting with some old friends at a bar and was hearing the same stories we always tell. So without a word I stood up and walked over to a table near us which had 3 decent looking women sitting on it. I said, "Hi ladies, I've been hanging around with my friends for the past 10 years and have heard everything they have to say. Do you mind if I sit and chat with you?" Worked like a charm. Pretending to forget my pickup line worked for me once. I walked up and said, "Is your father a carpenter? Because it looks like you've been running." At this point, I stopped and looked confused. She laughed. "Because your sweater is all covered in sawdust and crap." After buying a girl a third drink while we were talking, which may disqualify this as a pickup line, you know, you could save yourself a hangover by just going home with me now. I was in a swimming pool, swam underwater, accidentally popped up in front of some girl and calmly said, "So, you swim here often?" I swam underwater and accidentally pooped up in front of some girl. My dad got injured during World War II and needed surgery on his eyes. He stayed bandaged up for several weeks. Finally came the day he got them off. When they unwrapped the gauze, the nurse who would become my mother was standing in front of him. "Dad, oh, no, they didn't tell me I was going to die." "Mom, no, you're fine. You're not going to die." "Dad, I must be. I can already see an angel." They married a year later and stayed married until she died. That is extremely cheesy, but adorable. Listen, tonight, you and I are going to have the most amazing and outrageous sex possible. Now whether you're there or not, is totally up to you. Worked twice so far. My friend's brother used to write on a napkin and have a friend take it over to the girl. "I think you're very attractive and would like to commit obscene acts about your person. If you agree to this, please smile." I smiled, just reading your comment. When I first moved to Mexico, I did not speak any Spanish. We would often go out to clubs and women would come up to talk me, but I couldn't reciprocate. I had tried those learn to speak Spanish CDs and the only thing I could remember was "I would like a ham and cheese sandwich, please." One night I was just so generally frustrated anytime a woman came up to chat or made prolonged eye contact. I would just say "Quiero un torta de jamon y queso, por favor." I got tons of laughs and a few numbers. Couldn't do anything with them though. TLDR. I would like a ham and cheese sandwich please. My line was "Soy el hombre de queso, mi pan es limpio." I could say it so suavely and with a straight face that it actually worked. "I am the man of cheese. My bread is clean." I was lurking on Ventrilo when some Russian guy fires off this gem in his funny accent and bad English. "Hey, baby, if I flip a coin, what are the chances of me getting head?" I was in a bar and a girl asked me what I did, and I truthfully told her I was a chemistry student. When she then asked what kind of chemistry I studied, I pulled a ridiculous grin and just went "chemistry," pointing a finger between us. I now regret doing physics. Sits next to pretty girl at bar, order a beer, look at girl and say hi. She says hi, pay for beer and take a drink. I look at her again and say, "So," brief pause, "how do you like me so far?" Make an assessment. Not me, but a friend of mine. We were at a bar and there was this extremely attractive girl sitting close to where we were. My friend takes a napkin and writes on it, "Will you go out with me? Yes, no," with a checkbox next to both yes and no. He proceeds to hand it to the girl while I'm thinking there is no way this will work. She writes on it, "Maybe, buy me a drink." He doesn't. After a couple of hours she goes home with him. He should have business cards with this printed on the back. In college, I walked in on my friend chatting up a girl I was interested in at a party. I informed him, in front of her, that I had dibs. He buzzed off and later, I married her. Ultimate cock block. S mode activated. I had this line used on me, and it worked. A guy came up to me and dipped his finger in his drink and wiped it on my sleeve. Then did the same to his sleeve and turned to me and said, now let's go back to mine and get out of these wet clothes. When I said yes okay, then he looked completely shocked that it had actually worked. I was at a bar with a friend of mine and he turns to this girl and goes, do you know how to make pancakes? She replied yes. Why? He goes, good. Then you have a place to sleep tonight? I couldn't believe it worked. I have yet to try that one out. I'm going to bed. Wanna hang? Clearly this should never work, but I've used it myself about 10 years ago and seen 5 other guys pull it off since as a semi-joke. Must get under the radar or something. Me, I've something no other guy here has. Her, oh yo, what's that? Me, Argyle socks. No crap. We started talking and I went back to her place that night. Tell a girl you want to show her a trick and you need her hand. While holding her hand, draw invisible line with your finger and tell her that's the road. Secondly, point to one side of the line and say that's the bunny. Now ask her while still holding her hand how the bunny gets over the road. Keep making her guess and when she finally gets frustrated, tell her, I don't know either, I just wanted to hold your hand. This has worked for me at least 20 times. It's a good icebreaker. LOL. Be love magic. Hi, I'm completely full of myself. Would you like to be completely full of myself too? Took her a second, but she died laughing. Murderer. Me. I have a magic watch. It says you aren't wearing any underwear. Her. Rolls eyes, well it's wrong. I am. Me. It must be 30 minutes fast. Jackpot. I actually yelled, oh that's good. A cute girl was standing next to me at a bar one time. I said let's play the shoulder game while we wait for our drinks. I touched my left shoulder and said 1. Then my right shoulder and said 2. Then her left shoulder and said 3. Then I put my arm around her and touched her right shoulder and said 4. She looked at me and laughed. Realizing it was all a ruse to put my arm around her, I smiled and said I win cheesy, but it worked. My 15-year-old brother taught me this. I'm 26. And yes, it works. I borrowed the line from Dumb and Dumber. In my delighted drunken manly looking strut, I approached said beautiful lady. Me. What do you think the chances are of a guy like you and a girl like me ending up together? I did not plan on it working. I was quite intoxicated. Without missing a beat she replied, skipping a few lines of course. Her. Not good. Me. You mean, not good like 1 out of 100. Her. I'd say more like 1 out of 1,000,000. At this point she is laughing, but I had to finish anyway, gathering the attention of the bar, mind you. Me. So you're telling me there's a chance? Yep, Finn. I bet it doesn't go well if she either doesn't immediately catch the reference or doesn't play along. A pickup line passed down from my stepdad. Never thought it would work, but if you find a girl with a good sense of humor, it's done the trick. Wanna get a 12-pack and freak? Or don't you drink beer? This line worked on your mom. I'm a girl. I usually pick the most attractive yet nerdiest looking guy and make some internet joke. Works 100% of the time. I'm a girl. I usually pick guy and works 100% of the time. My buddy had an old phone. Went up to a girl and said, hey, my phone is 18 years old. Are you? And followed it up with, I bet you don't know how to put your number in it. It is so old. It worked. She put her number in. He got a date out of it. Dang my smartphone. Not really a line. More of a word. Smile. I met this gorgeous med student, so I asked her to check my pulse. While she was checking my carotid pulse, I looked her in the eyes and said smile. Very pretty smile. Turns out that measuring my elevated heart rate as an effect of her smile was quite a turn on for her. That's freaking adorable. I have a necklace with a D20 in it. I threw it at a guy and said, I don't really know how to start something here. Let's both roll for initiative to see who has 2. This one always gets a laugh. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? And then wait for that disgusted look that will follow. As soon as you see it, respond with because your face. It's all fricked up. A few ladies have used injury pickups. One girl elbowed me in the face so she could kiss me on the cheek. One girl stumbled down a few stairs to land on me as I lounged in the grass. And once on a hike with a cute girl, I was smacked in the cheek with a long twig for the cheek kiss thingy again. As a result, I'm a bit skittish on dates, worried for my bodily safety. I wonder if this technique is from something they read about on internets. You must be very good looking. Butthole. I was at an anime convention and saw a girl cosplaying Lady Gaga. I had to stroke 3 a bottle of 99 apples and was dressed like a girl myself. I stop her and say, "Excuse me miss, but you got more legs than a bucket of chicken." Best sex ever. What? I was chatting with this girl while in line at IKEA. She was cute and the conversation flowed well. We were both waiting for our friends with their vehicles and mine came first, so I loaded up everything. I saw that she was still waiting, so I went back in and said, "Well, as long as you're still standing here, can I get your number?" We exchanged numbers and I left surprised at how easy it was. 2 days later, my phone died and my contact backup thingy didn't save her number. Looks like I'll be that guy who never calls the girl back. P.S. Ashley, if you're Redditor, call me. Hey, I lost your number too. Send me yours and your credit card number and we can get in touch. My favorite is, do you know where the nearest vet is? Because these pythons are yike flex. I am a 110-pound skinny Asian kid and that usually charms them up. Meathead was talking to a girl in a club. I, being at the time very slight and stoner looking, approached her and interrupted him. "Is this guy bothering you?" She replied that she was and we left him standing there, spending the rest of the evening together. I only did it because I was P and thought I was Zafford Beeblebrox. I met a girl at a party and was told by some friends that she liked the freaky crap. An hour later I asked her to come to my room and take a look at something. I said nothing. I just held up a coil of rope and cocked an eyebrow. She then smiled, turned around, and put her hands behind her back. It went really well, but I still can't believe that crap worked. Go on. One time I was at the mall with my friends and we kept seeing the same group of girls. I was like 16 at the time. Near the end of the day we see the girls sitting on a bench in the lounging area of the mall. The girl I was eyeing was sitting beside an elderly Chinese woman. So I approached her, asked the hottie if she could move her purse. The girl smiles and moves her purse, then I sit down and put my arm around the old lady and say, "Hey beautiful, how are you doing?" The old lady blushed, laughed and then got up and ran away as the girl I was checking out commented, "So snap, hook, line and sinker." Starbucks barista, "What would you like today?" Me, "How about your phone number?" Barista, laughs, "I meant to drink." Me, "Just surprise me." Sits down at table. Barista brings over drink with her name and phone number on it. 2 years later we're living together and couldn't be happier. Wedding next summer. D. Flashback night 2004-ish. Visiting some friends in Philly, getting s-faced at some open bar event. Me, drunk, young, 22-ish, having a blast with friends, not a care in the world, wearing a Half-Life shirt with just the lambda in a circle. Yeah, I know. Her. Obviously drunk. Very hot. A school teacher who was a few years older. Mid to late 20s. Her. So what's that symbol mean touching my chest? Me. I can tell you. I just can't. Her. Persistent. Slightly flirty. Me. Not wanting to seem extremely nerdy, coming up with something fast. Me. You really want to know? Her. Yes. Tell me, whining with anticipation. I lean in close. Real close. Gently push her hair back away from her ear. Body's close. Whispering ever so slightly, "I'm Batman." We made out for the rest of the night right in the middle of the bar. Then, well, it made little sense then, but frick me, it worked. My friend and I were having a conversation one night about pickup lines, and my point was that you could say anything in the right tone and make it a pickup line. So with that, I went up the first girl I could find and asked her if she wanted to go swimming sometime. She was quite entertained by the way I asked that. We actually went swimming the next night and I got some. Hey, are you the kind of person who can take a genuine compliment from a complete stranger? Yeah, I guess. Me too. You first. Hey baby, my love is like a tiddlewave, and you are beachfront property. Johnny Bravo quote, results, dance, kiss, number. I wish I were your derivative, so that I could lie tangents to your curves. Saw it on Reddit. Results. Smashed it. If I were an enzyme I'd be DNA helicase, so I could unzip your genes. Saw it on Reddit. Results. Number and a date this Thursday. Hey sweetheart. I have over 40,000 comment karma on Reddit. Doesn't work. Well, not me but my friend. We were at a frozen yogurt place, and the girl at the register was pretty cute. So he takes the sample cup, writes if you want a sample call me, 555 5555. After paying he hands her the empty sample cup. Later, she said she just texted him back because it was ballsy. Looks like a fake number to me. Motion girl to come over with one finger, lean over to her ear, whisper, if I can make you come with one finger imagine what I can do with two. Oh cheesiest, I thought you said awesome. Imagine what I can do with a whole fist. I swear no one has ever asked what material someone's shirt is outside of them wearing some really unusual synthetic crap. One that worked on me. Him excuse me, you look really familiar. Is your name Summer? Me no. I'm sorry, you have the wrong person. Him that's too bad, because you are really hot. I thought it was clever and he scored a date. This would not work an island. Our summers are wet. Wait a minute. I saw a girl on the train. It was espresso at the last stop when we got off. I tapped her on the shoulder from behind and gave her my card saying you dropped this. She said no she didn't and laughed but took it anyway. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.